James Pearce, 4 months out for Suarez. It looks like he's going to miss 13 games, we think, for Liverpool at the start of the season. Is it going to be a problem? He missed games last year and he's still got the golden shoe.
It's going to have massive problems and huge implications for Liverpool. I think the club and the officials there will be absolutely stunned by this judgment from FIFA. I think everyone was waiting with bated breath for the decision to come through, and there's no question they've looked to make a real example out of Suarez. I think it's clear that they've obviously taken into account this is the third time he's bitten an opponent, and it's far exceeded the record ban that any player's ever been given in a World Cup. I think it was eight games for Tassotti, the Italian. For this to be 9 internationals, but then for it to be extended to cover all football-related activity for 4 months. It's just an absolutely crushing blow for Liverpool when you think this has got absolutely nothing to do with them. It's at a World Cup, and they fully expected this ban to just cover Uruguay internationals and probably rule him out of the Copa America leading up to that next summer. But for them, considering that Suarez proved he's the best player in the Premier League next season, but the fact that he won't kick a ball for Liverpool until the start of November at the earliest is going to have huge implications.
But there'll be those who say this ban is got it quite lightly, really. They were talking years initially when this happened.
Well, they were talking years initially, but that would be they were saying that in terms of international football. I think it was clear that the maximum ban that FIFA could have dished out was 2 years for international football, and I think Liverpool probably wouldn't have had a great deal of a problem with that in terms of if it just affected Uruguay. I mean, I think it's a strange one because obviously when he did this playing for Liverpool, it didn't have any impact on Uruguay. He was still able to play for them. So it's strange that this time around he's done it playing for Uruguay, but Liverpool were going to be denied his services. I mean, you can't defend what he did. It was absolutely reprehensible, and he's got a serious problem, and he needs help. Now he's going to have a lot of time to reflect because this will hurt Suarez, no question about that. Everyone sees every week at Anfield just how much playing the game means to him, and he's banned from all football-related activity, which I think means he probably, whether that means he can't even train, I don't know. He certainly, FIFA have said he's banned from all stadiums. So it's going to be interesting to see what Liverpool's response is, because people were talking about whether Liverpool sell Suarez. Well, the question is, do Real Madrid or Barcelona still want to buy a player who's going to miss another big chunk of next season?
Yeah, what do Liverpool do now? I mean, they've dealt with him before, and all that good work that they did with him last season, and he pretty much came back into the fold for people. He was the sports writers' player of the year and everything. It's all undone now, isn't it?
It is, and I think that'll be the biggest disappointment for Brendan Rodgers, especially because the time and effort he's devoted into try and turn Suarez around, and he took the plaudits last season for his football, and rightly so. But I think the other side of it that Brendan Rodgers was quick to credit at the end of the season is the way he turned it around in terms of his disciplinary record. He was only booked 6 times over the whole of last season. I thought Liverpool certainly felt they were making progress in terms of him cleaning up his act on the pitch. He was berating officials less. He was staying on his feet more. He was staying out of trouble. Rodgers talked about how he'd matured as a man as well as a footballer, and Dr. Steve Peters, the sports psychiatrist, he'd seen him. But it's sadly away from that environment he's in at Liverpool. He's regressed, and now he's got to face the huge consequences.